It's Madden NFL 23.
And today's clash of conferences is just moments away.
It's the Denver Broncos and the Detroit Lions.
And it's coming up next.
The seating capacity is 65,000 at Ford Field, and we are right around that number today. A good crowd on hand and seemingly ready to go in the Motor City. Coming up, we've got what should prove to be a good one between the Denver Broncos and the Detroit Lions. Welcome to the NFL on EA Sports. With me, as always, Charles Davis. And, Charles, we look at a matchup like this. It's really the running backs that may take center stage here today.
And in today's football, they're still valuable, not just as runners, but guys who can catch the ball as well. It's really the number of touches that determines things these days.
About ready to get us started, and we are underway from Ford Field. Taken in at the 3, and not much happening on the return as he'll get this to about the 23. So here are the Lions now coming out for their opening drive. They'll be led out by the first overall selection of the 2016 draft. From Cal, it's Jared Goff.
And at one point, the ascension of Jared Goff was really, really strong. Back-to-back Pro Bowls, took his team to the Super Bowl, and came really within one quarter of winning it. But since that time, he's had bouts of inconsistency, and that's been the struggle for him as he tries to get back to the form he showed earlier in his career.
On the ground, it's Swift to start the drive. And he'll manage to pick up about 4 at second down.
Well, the end of all that hitting and hollering, it was a 4-yard run, so the offense is going to go back down and feel pretty good about themselves. Defensively, you have to feel okay because you didn't let it turn into a bigger run. But the goal, shut it down for 2 yards or less. That's when you start to feel good about yourselves.
To throw on 2nd and 6, Goff. He'll be brought down by the Broncos. It's a sack. Alex Singleton making the play defensively. But just 2 plays in, and Charles already their first sack defensively.
Yeah, how about that? That didn't take long, did it? And now they look at 3rd down, and that's another time to try and go and get the quarterback too.
So now following the sack, Goff and the Lions needing to come up with something here on 3rd and long. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. He's airing it out for Williams. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
I came into this game eager to see how they would hold up in man coverage. And on that play, they held up quite well.
Jack Fox out to punt here on 4th down. "51 yards on the punt there. And the Broncos take over, 1st down and 10. So out comes this offense to take over for the first time. They're led onto the field by their quarterback, a man who's made quite the name for himself in the NFL, and that's Russell Wilson.
And similar to his nickname, Russell Wilson has a dangerous mix of skills, the ability to throw from the pocket and extend plays and throw on the run. Not to mention an absolute winner. Usually has his team in the playoffs competing for Super Bowl opportunities.
So 1st and 10 here for Wilson and the Broncos at their own 27. There's Wilson to throw. Finds Dulcich out left side. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. So give him 5 yards there on the pitch and catch, and it'll be 2nd down.
I know sometimes we can get fooled when we watch him make catches, as we just saw him do there, because he really looks like a wide receiver the way he goes about his business.
Yeah, 230, 240 range.
Yeah, not super huge. Maybe not counted on to be that inline point-of-attack blocker that we used to have in the good old days, but you can flex him out. You can run wide receiver routes with him. You can make him a primary target, and that's how he'll shred a defense. I do have to admit, I like it when it all comes together. When the top part, catching the football, right, whether you're catching it with your hands or cradling it, comes together with the legs, in this case the feet, doing a little toe tap to stay in bounds and complete the catch.
And a great job by our crew on the camera shot. Love when you see the grass or on the field turf, those rubber pellets flying up. Great catch. They run for the first time with Javonte Williams. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Yeah, things were pretty stacked up there in the middle of the line. A lot of bodies, not much space. I think ultimately he was fortunate to get anything out of that run.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. To throw is Wilson. To the right side, incomplete to Washington. And down he goes at the 45 after a pickup of 9.
Never make the mistake with the slot receivers, especially the little guys that we're watching here. They're just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
Wilson now to throw on 3rd down. Man open, he's got it complete to Cortland Sutton. And it's going to be another 1st down as they'll get him to the ground at the Lions' 34-yard line. A nice pick up there, 10 yards, and it'll move the sticks. Really a solid start here on the opening drive, Charles. He's now 4 of 4, and they're already in plus territory.
Brandon, he's been so precise to start this game, like we're watching an operation taking place right now. Master surgeon at work.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Throwing is Wilson. He's got his 6'5 receiver. That's Tim Patrick. And they eventually get to him at the 17 after a pickup of 17. Into the red zone, 1st down.
Well, this is where reading defenses and practice time comes into play. You've got to know what you're running versus zone versus man and how to run the proper route. And they just executed that one pretty well.
So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. Over the middle, complete. That's Sutton. And he will be brought down at about the 6-yard line. 11 more yards that go around, a 1st down as well.
Just picking up yardage in bunches here these last few plays. They have moved right down the field, and just like that, they're going to be set up with a 1st and goal.
Here we go now on 1st and goal. They'll try and run the option left side. Wilson hit. It's loose. It's out. Fumble. Giants 1, 2, and 3 in their defensive game plan was to get to the quarterback and knock the ball free. They did it there. Luckily, offense hangs on to it.
Yeah, that's got to serve as a wake-up call, though, because they can't afford to let the ball go over to the defense and miss opportunities. And I'm not saying it happened here, but you know what a good rule of thumb is when a play like that occurs? You know who usually recovers it? The guy who missed his block and let his quarterback get hit.
Nathaniel Hackett apparently disagrees with the ruling on the field, and he's going to challenge this one.
Previous play is under review.
And the question, was the knee in fact down before this ball comes loose? And is the video convincing enough to overturn it?
A lot of factors here. Remember, you also need clear possession of football afterwards. This is a tough one to overturn.
After review of the play, the ruling on the field is reversed.
So Nathaniel Hackett's choice to challenge the play, a good one. Very fortunate to get another shot. Here's 2nd and goal. Here's Wilson. Feeling the pressure here and taken down. A sack back at the 7. Multiple players combined for the team's first sack of the game. He's certainly one of those quarterbacks that can burn you with his mobility, but that time able to pin him in and get him to the ground.
Perfect descriptor right there about how they kept him in the pocket. Excellent job of containment, but they were still able to continue to bring such strong pressure without letting him escape. But how about those guys in the secondary as well? Kept the coverage tight, plastered to the receivers, and left no real options for him to throw it downfield.
Right side, it's Hamler pulling it in. We're scoreless after 1. Broncos football as we begin quarter number 2. And the first play will be a field goal try from the right hash and a bit of a tight angle. The kick by McManus is good. And the Broncos, the first to grace the scoreboard. It's 3-zip. So they're able to end that drive with 3 points in this one-possession ball game.
And ideally, you want to end every drive with points. Most quarterbacks would tell you, let's end it with a kick, right? A PAT, that's number 1. Field goal you'll take. Punts, you really don't want to do that. In this case, they'll take the field goal and get prepared for the rest of the game.
After splitting the uprights, McManus to kick it away. Taken in at the 3. And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24. Back onto the field come the Lions for their 2nd overall drive. This one a little slow to get cooking. Just a 3-0 scoreline as they begin with a 1st and 10. Now gone. And nowhere to fit that football in. It's knocked away and incomplete.
As a defensive back, you have some weapons at your disposal that we don't often talk about. And you can read a receiver's eyes, you can read his hands, and you know that the arrival of the ball is imminent. And that allows you to make a play on it and oftentimes knock it away.
To throw on 2nd and 10. Goff. He's going to find his running back. It's complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they reach the 50. That one good for 26 and a 1st down.
This one was all about clearing space for this play to work because he's got to leak out of the backfield to his right and then angle his way up the field. And a really pretty throw to put it on him and create the big play downfield.
the 50, it's gone. The connecting here with DJ Shark. And they're going to get this down near the 35-yard line.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Goff. Flushed out right. And he will go down outside of the pocket for a sack. Tried to get away, but could not. Baron Browning from his outside linebacker spot, forcing the sack for a loss of 8. Defensively on the previous play, they gave up a pretty good chunk of yardage, but right there, they got a good portion of it right back.
And if we just flip it around from the offensive perspective, took a nice step forward, and how about a couple of leaps backwards after that play? They've got to figure out a big call coming up here to try and gain that yardage back.
So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on 2nd down. Go off a handoff here to Swift. And he's able to carve out about 6 there, down to the 37.
I really like the vision he displayed on that play because he saw there wasn't a lane to completely break off a huge gain. So he found where there was the most space and got what he could. A nice dirty run that's a positive play for the offense.
We'll see what they have drawn up here. A little bit behind the line. 12 yards needed to gain a 1st down. Throwing on 3rd. Goff. They'll try and set up the screen to Swift. And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. They'll wind up losing a yard on the play. And that'll bring up 4th down.
Well, Brandon, we could see that play developing, and they were hoping that he was going to be able to put a move on the first guy and turn it into a big play. But no such luck. The speed on defense continues to get better and better in the NFL. Pretty nice example there of those guys being able to run from their assignments and finish off that play.
And this won't get there. Won't be online either. It's no good. Off to the right. And instead of tying it up, they'll remain down by 3.
Yeah, 55 yards is anything but a gimme. You've got to really concentrate on your leg swing and proper technique. This time, though, he's unable to convert.
So now the 2nd drive offensively coming up for the Denver Broncos. Their drive last time, it stalled out. They were forced to take the short field goal.
And the key phrase, you nailed it. Forced to, because you know coaches look at these short field goals as a last resort, right? To them, that's not how drives are supposed to end. You're supposed to put 6 on the board. That's a consolation prize. Like going to the county fair, you don't get the big stuffed animal on that one, do you?
No, you don't go top shelf. That's bottom shelf material. They begin the drive with Williams. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. 2nd quarter, 2 minutes remain. 3-0 our score. It's a loss of 5 there, bringing up 2nd. Play action. It's Wilson. He's got a man complete. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A gain of 32 that time.
That's a well-thrown ball right there. This is where arm strength pays off because he's got to be able to get the ball both downfield and to the sideline. And that's one of the more difficult throws for a quarterback, and he put it right where it needed to be.
So now then, the big play has him all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. Now Wilson. And the throw left sideline here is caught, but they'll rule it incomplete. Couldn't keep his feet in. Second down. Defensively, celebration time because they finally forced an incompletion. He was perfect throwing the ball to that point.
Yeah, but from his viewpoint, they didn't force the incompletion. He just missed. That's how hot he is right now, and that's how he wants to continue to throw the ball.
Second and 10 now, Wilson. He completes this to Sutton. And he's brought down inside the 20 at the 18-yard line.
Simple drag route here. Lined up out left to try to work his way back across the field. You probably saw me twitch there, partner, because I think he wanted the ball a little bit sooner. By the time he looked it in, the defender was right on him.
Now the Broncos are going to call the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. And I see an extra defensive back on the field. Little surprise here on 3rd and 1. To throw again is Wilson. That's complete to the tight end, Sauber. No gain at all on the play there, and that brings up 4.
Now that's going to be a tough one to explain when they get together and watch the game film, isn't it? I mean, they had the right call, had the out route. He's got to know where the first down sticks are, yet he steps out of bounds that close. Not their best play.
Here we go with Williams. And he is into the end zone for a Denver touchdown. 19 yards for Javonte Williams. And the Broncos will extend their lead in the final minute of the half. So they only needed a couple of feet there on 4th down, but they got more than that and then some as he takes this into the end zone.
And I love your description right there, right? 4th and short. They got that. No problem. Let's go ahead and get the rest of it. Finish it off in the end zone. Touchdown. Everyone goes away happy on that one.
McManus's point after is good, and the lead grows to 10-0. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. This taken in at the goal line. And he'll get it up past the 20 to about the 22. The Lions now taking over late in this first half. They're certainly in need of some kind of points here before the end of the half. A field goal or something being shut out right now. They can really use some momentum before they head into halftime. On first down, Goff. And that is incomplete.
I tell you, Brandon, this defense is playing with some confidence. Haven't allowed a point yet. Flying to the football. I'm telling you, it's almost 11 to the ball on every snap. Another nice job there to force an incompletion.
So after the incompletion, 2nd and 10 from the 22. Here's Goff. And the Broncos get there and take him down. Now the Broncos going to use the second of their timeouts as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half. So now following the sack, Goff and the Lions needing to come up with something here on 3rd and long. On 3rd down, here comes Swift. And he's going to be stopped up right at the line of scrimmage. Now the defense will burn their 3rd and final timeout as the clock will stop with 34 seconds to go before halftime. On 4th down, Jack Fox on to punt for Detroit. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. It'll go as a 50-yard punt, 6 yards on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over. Good starting position for the Broncos here as they come up 1st and 10 at their own 37. Here's Wilson. And that one going to be off target and incomplete.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up, not that time. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. Wilson. He'll let this go deep for Sutton. And that will be incomplete. Trying to dial up the long way out there, but it'll be 3rd down.
They gave it a shot with the deep pass, but it wasn't going to work there. And now there's less time for them to try and get 3 before the half. Let's see what they dial up on this next snap.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. They'll run out of the gun here. Williams. The Lions will use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 12 seconds to go in this first half. Fourth down, Corliss Waitman now on to punt. Back deep, Khalif Raymond. Did they keep it in? They did. They kept it in. It's down close to the goal line at the 1-yard line.
You rarely call your punter a weapon, but he certainly was there. How about that? Pinning him down at the 1-yard line and helping out the defense in a big way. I'm telling you what, if I'm a defensive coordinator, I might be thinking safety right now.
They'll start on the ground with Swift. And he'll maneuver his way forward for about 4. 2nd and 6. So we reach halftime here in a 10-point game as we send you down to Orlando where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. And welcoming everyone to our downtown Orlando studios in this EA Sports Halftime Report. First order of business, though. Let's get a look at the next-gen stats in that first half for Denver. And even though they've got the big cushion, I would imagine they'd like to see a little more out of their passing game. Pretty pedestrian numbers through 2 quarters of play. Meanwhile, for the Lions, we check on their numbers on the ground in the first half, as they know they'll need to be better to overcome this halftime deficit.
All right, Coach, thank you very much as we welcome you back for quarter number 3. Broncos with a lead, and they will be receiving this kickoff here as quarter 3 is underway. Montrell Washington on the return from his end zone. And a nice job there on special teams to limit him to inside the 15 as he's dropped at the 14. The Bronco offense ready to begin this third quarter of play. This offense set to begin the third quarter. And, Charles, if they had a checklist of things they wanted to accomplish in the first half, certainly at the top of that list would be having the lead, and they've got that here.
That's always the most important box to check, isn't it? But also, they've had some success in their passing game, so probably an empty box establishing the run. They're on pace for fewer than 100 yards in this one, so now they want to make sure that they get that going so they truly have a control in this ball game, and down the stretch, being able to be balanced, either throw it or run it, and try and win this ball game.
The tackle there by Malcolm Rodriguez.
Defensively, we always know that he is tough in run support, and I think the way that he gets there is he understands what an offense is going to do before the ball's even snapped. A great job of scouting prior to the game, then reading, reacting, and taking the right path to the ball carrier.
Wilson's throw taken in by Sutton. And he works it across the 25 before being tackled. It's a first down, his fourth catch of the game after having 3 in the first half.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing, because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the third quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try and put the hammer down and finish this one off.
Now Wilson on first down. And the Lions pressure too strong. Down he goes. Romeo Okwara in there to bury him for a loss of 11.
Now that was a passer's nightmare. The front door totally shut down by the defense, so he kept going backwards, hoping to find another avenue of escape. It didn't exist.
Well, they're in some hot water now after that sack. It's 2nd and 21. Now it's Wilson. He finds Latavius Murray. And they'll get him down here at the 23. For the Lions, an extra DB in the game now here on third down. From the gun, it's Wilson. He'll let this go deep for Sutton. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
So one first down on that drive, and that's it. Forced to take the deep shot on third down and couldn't hit it. Now they have to punt this one away.
The Broncos send out their punter now as he'll kick it away for the second time. The beautiful fake. And one more time. And he'll be out right at the 35. A pretty good punt there, but also a nice return of 12 yards. And the Lions will take over. Goff and this Lions offense set for a 1st and 10 at their 35-yard line. Here's Goff. And incomplete to the field. That'll bring up 2nd down.
I'm getting the sense that this offense is getting frustrated. Here we are into the third quarter, and they've had plenty of opportunities to get in sync. Thus far, that hasn't happened. They're looking for answers both on the sidelines and in the huddle looking at each other.
On 2nd down, Swift. And a nice move will yield nothing as he's stopped behind the line. It'll go as a loss of a yard, so now they deal with 3rd and 11.
This defense is just flat getting after it. They have not given up much of anything in the run game. Case in point right there.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Goff now looks to throw. And gets to Amon-Ra St. Brown. And he is going to have the Lions first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
That's a play that likely to be forgotten when you talk about big moments in this game. But plays like this are critical to keep drives going. And if points result, we'll call this play significant.
Now a first down throw. Goff. That one. And a loose football. It's picked up by the Broncos. And this is going to be brought back for a Denver touchdown. The offense, they've had some sloppy moments. Sloppy there again on that one, and it could be the backbreaker.
From a defensive perspective, if the offense is going to be sloppy, you've got to take advantage of that. And that's what they've done all game long.
Now McManus for the extra point. He's got it, and it's 17-0. The scoop and score, always an exciting play in football, and we witnessed it there. Grabbing it off the ground and then rumbling it into the end zone for 6. So here's the kickoff now as he'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped it to 23. And Detroit back in possession of the football. I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
On 1st and 10, it's Swift. And he'll get this just across the 25-yard line. That ground game contained again there, Charles, and that's really a big reason that they're trailing right now.
They give a lot of credit to that defensive front. That's exactly what they worked for all week, to try and take away the run game, make them one-dimensional. In the battle of game plans, theirs has been superior.
On 2nd and 7, Goff. And that almost their first INT of the ball game. Had his sights on it, but he couldn't seal the deal.
Just work with me a second here, because in my lifetime, seeing how quarterback percentages have changed in throwing the football, I mean, back in the good old days, if you were around 50%, you were doing okay. But now, you need to be 65 to 70% to be considered an elite quarterback. And in this ball game, it feels like we're playing old school, right around 50%.
Yeah, he's under 50%. He needs to start hitting more targets. Now the throw on 3rd down, knocked away and incomplete.
Has to be a little bit of frustration there. Back-to-back incompletions. Receivers blanketed on both attempts, this time on 3rd down.
Here comes the Lions punter now, as he's on here to punt it away. This is taken at the 18. That'll be put in the books as a 53-yard punt. And they will take over 1st and 10. And Denver getting set to take the field. And now you've got the clock winding down here in the 3rd quarter. You're 3 scores to the good. What's your approach on this drive?
Too early to fully commit to playing the clock game. Yet at the same time, you're also not going pell-mell like you would in 2-minute offense. This is what NFL offenses call 4-minute football. Take the clock out of the game a little bit, wind it down, but at the same time, keep advancing the ball down the field.
They start the drive on the ground. It's Williams. And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. Second down. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin too.
And as they come to the line, they will not be able to get off another play as time has run out on this third quarter. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Williams going to get it again on second down. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. That one, a first down pickup of 8. Now, I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely, you want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. They run from the shotgun with Murray. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
They're still about 3 yards shy of a first as the 4-yard pickup brings it to third down.
If you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
The Broncos on third down, just 1 for 5 to this point. Here it's 3rd and 3. Got a man complete. It's Hamler. And it's going to be another first down as they'll get him to the ground at the Lions' 40. 15 yards there on the catch and run.
When you have someone throwing it that well, that confidently, you don't have to call the game in fear at all, do you? You just go ahead and play.
Yep, confidence with a lead to throw it here in the 4th, and boom, he's on the money.
Yeah, you don't have to tuck your head in and go like turtle at this point. You can just go ahead and play.
So the ball moves into Lion territory now. Here's 1st and 10, right at the 40. Now a give up the middle to Williams. And he works his way forward to pick up 4 yards there. Second down.
I have to chuckle to myself a little bit, Brandon, because right now I could be in that huddle with that offensive line. And I know exactly what they're saying. If you call a pass play here, we're going to call timeout. Run the football. We've got control of this thing. Get in behind us and let's go.
Their time to shine. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So it's Bronco football as we get you reset here. And the scoreboard on their side, they're just looking to melt away these final couple of minutes and put this one in the left-hand column. And this time they were ready for him as they'll stop him right at the line of scrimmage. This will be a loss of 3 and now a much tougher third down looming. Seems pretty obvious defensively a key was stopping the run game. How have they done it so successfully?
To me, it seems that these guys really did a nice job of paying attention during the scouting report meeting. And you know, Brandon, when they do those, they talk about the top plays that these guys like to run. The best runs for the top running back. Those are the ones you focus on and want to.
Pressure comes, and Wilson's going to go down. And that'll bring up 4th down on a big sack with a loss of 5.
It seemed like he kept going through those progressions, and I thought he might dump that underneath, but he couldn't get rid of the football in time.
And I have to wonder if he was thinking while he was back there, I wish there were a lot less progressions on this play, just someone that I can dump the ball to and get it out of my hands.
And that is much too long. That's into the end zone for a touchback. Another shot now for this Lions offense. At this point, partner, things looking pretty bleak. They still haven't scored here in the fourth quarter, facing the big deficit. What silver linings, what can they look to do here offensively?
You know, it's funny, I talked about this with a coach in the offseason and kind of had this scenario, like what feels good to you and what feels good to your team. You're down big. You really have like one possession left, and you're trying to put points on the board that don't matter. But do they? And he told me they actually do matter. And in this situation, he's going to try and run the best offense he can run to have at least a little bit of confidence to take away from that game. So right now, they're going to try their best to get something up on the board and not get shut out.
The Lions will use the first of their timeouts as they stop it with 28 seconds to go in this football game. Line of scrimmage, the 28 now as they come up on second and a couple. Gone. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
After the incompletion, here now, 3rd and 2. Back to throw, Goff. Wide open receiver, complete. And he is going to have a Lions first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. Now Goff. He's going to get that to Swift underneath. And they're going to get this up to midfield. And the Lions quickly now going to use the last of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 12 seconds to go in the football game. A play fake for Swift. Now Goff. He's going to look deep down the field. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down.
That's coverage you'd expect to see in a tie game late. Not in a lopsided game like this. They are not letting up.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. From the 50, it's Goff. He's going to let this go. Back of the end zone. And that will be incomplete. They were going for a consolation TD, but it was not to be. And time has run out now on this game. So this one will wind up a Denver victory, and they did it in shutout fashion. Impressive.
Would it be too bland of a statement to say they didn't have the greatest day offensively? I mean,
did enough, though. Did enough, but yeah, you're right.
Most games, it wouldn't have been enough. So they've got to go into the locker room and applaud their defensive mates and say, guys, you really carried us today. We'll try and get you back next time. But as for today, you guys were nails out there.